Attention passionate New York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news now. Hold on, because what I'm about to tell you could be a game changer for the Giants secondary and honestly for the entire NFC East. Rumor has it that the Giants are eyeing a major move, potentially bringing in Jaylon Johnson from the Chicago Bears. Yeah, you heard that right. Johnson, a top-tier cornerback, could be on his way to New York, and if this trade materializes, it might just be the kind of move that elevates the Giants from a solid team to real playoff contenders. But let's dig into what this could mean, not just for the Giants, but also for the division and the NFL landscape as a whole. First off, Johnson isn't just any cornerback. At 26 years old, he's been carving out a reputation as one of the league's premier shutdown corners. Last year, he had a standout season with 5 interceptions, 13 pass defenses, and a PFF grade of 91.7, placing him among the top corners in the league. His ability to blanket receivers and make game-changing plays is exactly what the Giants' secondary needs, especially considering their ongoing struggles with coverage. Right now, the Giants are allowing an average of 240 passing yards per game, which puts them squarely in the bottom third of the league. That's a problem, especially when facing high-powered offenses like Dallas and Philadelphia. The Giants' secondary has shown flashes of excellence, but inconsistencies and injuries have hampered their ability to lock down opponents. Neighbors, one of their starting safeties, has been out, and the entire unit has been allowing around 260 yards passing per game. Adding Johnson could be a game changer, potentially bringing that number down significantly. Think about it, Johnson's track record shows he's capable of transforming a defense. His career stats include 16 interceptions and 55 pass defenses since entering the league in 2020, and he was named an All-Pro last season. His ability to read routes, stay glued to receivers, and make plays on the ball elevates the entire secondary. Now, the Bears are in a bit of a tough spot. They're currently 4-9 and in tank mode after some struggles, including a rough slump following the trade of Williams, who had 14 touchdowns but also 15 interceptions. The Bears are reportedly looking to rebuild and might be willing to part ways with Johnson in exchange for a first-round pick swap in 2026 and a fifth-round pick, all while saving about $19 million in cap space. That savings could be used to bolster their offensive line, which has been sacked 50 times this season, or to invest in other key areas for their rebuild. From the Bears' perspective, they're also motivated by their salary cap situation, which currently exceeds $14 million for 2026. They're prioritizing youth and development on defense, with players like Gordon contributing with 3 interceptions. They're not expecting to make a playoff run this year, at least not with their current defensive ranking, which sits at 25th in points allowed per game. Without Johnson, their secondary would likely take a hit, leading to a bottom 8 ranking and making it even harder to compete in what's already a tough NFC North. But for the Giants, snagging Johnson isn't just about boosting their stats, it's about flipping the script on their entire defense. Right now, their pass defense ranks around 27th in the league, giving up an average of 240 yards per game. Moving Johnson into the fold could elevate that number closer to 200 yards, which would be a huge step forward. His presence would help turn their secondary into a lockdown legion, reminiscent of the Rams' dominant units back in 2020, who tied a league-high 13 interceptions that season. Imagine a secondary that not only locks down receivers, but also creates turnovers, giving the Giants more short fields and scoring opportunities. This move could also dramatically increase their turnover margin. Currently, they're averaging about 1 turnover per game, but with Johnson's ball-hawking skills, that number could jump to around 18 turnovers per game. That's a significant difference, especially considering how critical turnovers are in close games and playoff scenarios. Historically, players like Stephon Gilmore in 2019 helped elevate their defenses by about 16%, and Johnson has the potential to do something similar for the Giants. Now, let's talk about the broader picture. The Giants are in a bit of a transitional phase. Their offense has been inconsistent, averaging just 190 yards per game, which puts a lot of pressure on their defense to keep them in games. With a more reliable secondary, they could allow their defense to focus on creating chaos, forcing turnovers, and setting up their offense with better field position. That's especially important because their offensive attack is still finding its rhythm, and they're leaning more on short passes and quick strikes. This is a pivotal moment for the Giants' long-term prospects. A trade for Johnson could not only elevate their chances this season, but also set the foundation for future success. Think about it. Adding a player of Johnson's caliber could ignite a culture change in the locker room, inspiring confidence and raising the bar for everyone. It's about building a Super Bowl-ready secondary reminiscent of the legendary shutdown units of the past, but with a modern twist. The NFL is increasingly about defending the pass, and the Giants know that to compete at the highest level, they need a lockdown corner who can shut down the league's best receivers. If this trade goes through, it could send a message to the rest of the NFC East. The Giants are serious about competing now. They're not just looking to rebuild, they're looking to win, and they're willing to make bold moves to do it. With Johnson in the fold, opponents would think twice before throwing deep, knowing they're facing a corner who can take away one side of the field completely. That kind of confidence can ripple through the entire defense, making them more aggressive and disruptive. Looking ahead, the impact of acquiring Johnson could be felt well beyond this season. It could be the missing piece that turns the Giants into a formidable playoff team, capable of making a deep run, especially if their offense starts to gel. The NFC East is shaping up to be one of the most competitive divisions in recent memory, with the Eagles, Cowboys, and Commanders all boasting strong units. The Giants need to find ways to match that intensity, and bolstering their secondary is a step in that direction. The NFL trade deadline is approaching, and fans are buzzing with anticipation. Will the Giants pull the trigger on this deal? If they do, it wouldn't just be a splash move, it would be a statement. A sign that they're all in on contending now, not just in a year or two. Johnson's addition could transform their secondary into a real strength, giving them the confidence to face any offense and challenge for the division title. And let's not forget, this could also shift the division power dynamic. The Cowboys, Eagles, and Commanders are all formidable, but if the Giants can shore up their secondary with a player like Johnson, they become even more dangerous. It could push the Giants from a team fighting to get into the playoffs to a team that's ready to make noise once they're there. And for the fans, that's what it's all about, seeing your team rise, making a statement, and chasing another Super Bowl. So stay tuned, Giants fans. Big things could be coming soon, and this move might just be the spark that ignites another chapter of Giants greatness. Keep your fingers crossed, because if this trade happens, it could be the beginning of something special. An infusion of talent, confidence, and grit that propels the Giants back into the NFL's elite. We've seen how a single player can change a team's narrative before, and Johnson's potential arrival could be that turning point for the Giants this season and beyond. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest New York Giants news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, New York Giants fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you think Johnson is the piece that can elevate this team to new heights? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Giants. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Giants news and analysis. This is the kind of move that could reshape the NFC East and give us all a lot to cheer about in the coming weeks. The Giants are on the rise, and with your support, we're heading straight into what could be a very exciting chapter in Big Blue's history.